My name is Leela. I thought I knew everything about my life, my routine, my neighborhood, even the creaking of the floors in my new home. I never imagined that a single door could unravel everything I believed about safety, reality, and the world I trusted so dearly. The house had seemed perfect at first. A charming Victorian on the outskirts of town, with tall windows that let in the morning sun, and hallways wide enough for two people to walk side by side. It smelled faintly of pine and old wood, like memories pressed into the walls. But even on the first night, something felt wrong. Something hidden, waiting. It started with a sound. I had been unpacking boxes in the living room, surrounded by stacks of dishes and books, when I heard it. A faint, almost imperceptible scratching coming from upstairs. I froze. My heart hammered, yet I tried to dismiss it as the house settling, the wind shifting through the trees outside. But the sound persisted. Slow, patient, persistent. I climbed the staircase, each step groaning beneath my weight, and there it was. A door at the far end of the hallway, heavy, old, and sealed with a rusted lock. It was unlike any other door in the house. The wood was warped, darkened with age, and it exuded a presence, a silent warning that made the hairs on my arms stand on end. I tugged at the handle. Nothing, locked tight. That night, sleep was impossible. I lay in bed, eyes wide, listening. The scratching returned, faint but deliberate, coming from the direction of that door. I told myself I was imagining things, but deep down, I knew I was. Days passed, each one bringing new signs. Shadows moving behind the locked door when the sun hit at a certain angle. Whispers, barely audible, curling through the hallway like smoke. And every time I tried to confront it, to find a reason, I felt a presence behind me, a weight in the air that was impossible to ignore. One evening, I found an envelope wedged between the door and the frame, aged and yellowed. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside were photographs. A child, alone, crying, eyes wide with terror, standing in a room I recognized immediately, the locked room. There were notes, scribbled in a hasty hand. Do not open. They are watching. Do not enter. Fear clawed at me, but so did curiosity. I had to know. I spent weeks observing, recording, and mapping every creak, every shadow, every whisper. I discovered small vents along the baseboards, a series of scratches on the floorboards that indicated movement, patterns that suggested someone or something was moving behind that door constantly. One night, when the wind howled and the house shivered, I made my move. Equipped with a flashlight, gloves, and a crowbar, I approached the locked door. The scratching had grown louder, more urgent, almost desperate. My breath quickened. I could feel the pulse of the house, the heartbeat of the secret it held. I inserted the crowbar, forced the lock. Metal screamed in protest. And then, with a final pull, the door gave way. The room was dark, suffocating. A single beam of light from my flashlight revealed walls lined with old furniture, dust-covered toys, and a small cot pushed into the corner. But it wasn't empty. A figure sat huddled on the floor, a boy, no older than 10, eyes wide, clothes tattered, shaking. He stared at me with a mixture of terror and relief. Who are you?" he whispered. I'm Leela," I said, voice trembling. "I'm here to help." And then I heard it, a whisper behind me, closer than it should have been. A voice, low and cold. "You shouldn't be here." The room suddenly felt alive, oppressive. Doors and windows that hadn't been there before creaked open and shut on their own. Shadows shifted, moving with intention. I grabbed the boy's hand, trying to reassure him, trying to reassure myself. Over the following hours, I uncovered the truth. This wasn't just a hidden room. It was a trap, a cage for children abandoned and forgotten, left to survive in darkness, while someone or something watched, studied, and controlled their every move. Names, dates, photographs, all meticulously cataloged in dusty notebooks I found hidden beneath the floorboards. It became a battle. Every night, I would hear movement outside the room, trying to predict patterns, anticipating footsteps, whispers, and the cold breath of whatever haunted the house. I learned to move silently, to manipulate shadows, to understand the rhythm of fear. I rescued the boy, then another, then another. Each child had been trapped for years, each carrying stories of terror I couldn't fully imagine. And every time I thought we were safe, the room would remind us the door wasn't just a barrier. It was alive. It remembered. It protected secrets. Authorities arrived, following the trail of evidence I had painstakingly documented. But even they were wary. The house seemed to resist them, hiding more than it revealed. And when they left, some children still refused to leave the house, drawn to the room as if it called them, whispering promises of safety amidst the darkness. I stayed, night after night, guarding, watching, documenting. The locked room had taken pieces of me, reshaped my understanding of reality, and yet I couldn't leave. I couldn't abandon the children. Sometimes, in the dead of night, I swear I hear voices, not just the children, but others. Shadows that whisper secrets of past occupants, warnings of dangers unseen. And I know, with a certainty that chills me to the bone, that the room is still alive, still hungry for silence, still watching, but I will not let it win. I have learned its patterns, its rhythm, its secrets. I have become part of the house, and yet apart from it. Every day, I reclaim a little of the power it tries to hold over us, because the locked room doesn't just hold children. It holds fear. And if I can face it, if I can survive it, then perhaps, someday, those who come after me will too. Every night, I whisper into the darkness, "You may be old, you may be strong, but I am here, and I am not afraid." And sometimes, in the quietest hours, I hear a soft, almost approving creak from the locked door. I know it's listening. I know it remembers. but I am still standing. Thank you for listening to my story. If it captivated you, please subscribe, like, and share this video. I'd love to read your thoughts in the comments. Your support means the world.